The Code of Federal Regulations lists 8 basic elements that must be included in all forms of consent. You can be sure to address each element by using our templates. In short, these basic elements are: the first required element is a statement that the study involves research, the purpose of the research, the duration of the research participation, a description of the procedures, and identification of any procedures which are experimental. An important tip for this section is to avoid the use of jargon. The second required element is a description of any reasonably foreseeable risks or discomforts to the subject. A tip for this section is that many minimal risk studies may simply be able to state the risks are no greater than everyday life. The third requirement is to include a description of any benefits to the subject and/or society. All benefits must be stated. Participants must be informed if the study presents no direct benefit to them. The fourth element requires a disclosure of appropriate alternative procedures that might be advantageous to the subject. A tip: if offering extra credit to students in exchange for research participation, you must offer and describe an alternative extra credit option for those who do not want to participate. The fifth element requires a statement describing the extent to which confidentiality of records identifying the subject will be maintained. Tip: know the difference between confidential and anonymous. It's important to clearly describe whether or not the data is confidential or anonymous. The sixth element requires that research that involves more than minimal risk must include an explanation as to whether or not any compensation or medical treatment is available for injury. Minimal risk is defined as the probability and magnitude of harm or discomfort anticipated in the research are not greater in and of themselves than those ordinarily encountered in daily life or during the performance of routine physical or psychological examinations or tests. The seventh element requires PI and IRB contact information. It's also important to include the KSU logo and the study title. The final required element is a statement that participation is voluntary. Refusal to participate will involve no penalty or loss or benefits to which the subject is otherwise entitled, and the subject may discontinue participation at any time without penalty or loss of benefits to which they are otherwise entitled. The Code of Federal Regulations includes additional elements that are required on a case-by-case basis. It is important for you to be aware of these elements when preparing your consent form. Please remember to review and use the consent templates provided on our website. These will greatly help you address all required elements.